Hey guys, thanks for coming back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the show I'm going to be reviewing another film that I picked up during this Barnes & Noble Criterion Collection sale. It's actually one that was kind of hard to come by, so needless to say I'm glad that I found it and picked it up when I did. This is one of my favorite films. I really loved this movie and I was really glad to see Criterion give it a somewhat recent release on Blu-ray and a brand new restored 4K digital transfer here, and that movie is The Incredible, The Great Escape. I love this movie. This is just a masterpiece of a film. Hands down the greatest escape movie ever made. You know, again, it's in the title. Steve McQueen, again, gives a legendary performer in this, along with James Garner, Richard Attenborough, oh my god, Donald Pleasance, Charles Bronson, James Coburn. Again, the list goes on and on and on, and I really love this movie. This is a great, great film. This 4K new transfer here from Criterion is incredible. Now, this is just the standard Blu-ray. Again, Criterion has not embraced the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray market yet, which is a shame because I would love to see this movie in 4K. But overall, I think the release is great. The cover art here I really like. I love that that picture of Steve McQueen sticking his head out from the hole. Again, the disc is actually really pretty as well, with the barbed wire, with the C, the Criterion C there. And this has got to be one of my favorite see-through snap cases here. As you can see, it has a cast photo of all the different actors inside, and really love that. That is really a great little addition to this set here. The little slip here is actually a map and a cast list of the prison camp, and it's got a nice little article in there. Some pretty interesting stuff. Really like this release. The main thing I'm going to be talking about in this video here is the picture quality and the audio quality of this new 4K transfer here on this 1080 Blu-ray. So first and foremost, let's start with the video on this. Now, this has already been released, this film, I should say, has already been released from MGM on Blu-ray quite a few years ago now. And that Blu-ray, I have to say, it was okay. This new 4K transfer from Criterion here really rights a lot of the wrongs from that older Blu-ray. Detail level is way clearer. They also did a nice job of keeping the grain in the picture as well, because this is a movie from 1963. This is not a brand new film. It was shot on film, and I will say that the grain structure in the film is very well handled. It's not heavy to the point of distraction, I would say. It is in the picture throughout. Actually, I did notice too as well, in certain scenes near the end of the film, a couple shots of Steve McQueen on the motorcycle, that there was some artifacts in the lower left-hand corner of the screen as well. Again, the picture was cleaned up to a degree, but I guess there was some damage or some camera artifacts that were just not fixable for whatever reason. Again, I don't know why. But it is interesting to see that they did clean up the film to the degree where it is beautiful to look at. And I will say, this new 4K transfer, again, it's a 1080 disc, so again, there's no HDR or anything, but I did watch this upscaled to 4K. This new 4K transfer is absolutely perfect. I mean, I could say, you know, there was some artifacts here and there, but the color on this is so perfect. It really does look like this movie could have been made just a couple weeks ago. And for a movie that is from 1963, that is really saying something here. The movie looks marvelous. The color palette is now a very natural color palette which I am, you know, again, I'm very fond of when a movie looks like the way it should have looked all along. They really did bring the movie back and make it look like it could have been something that was made just a couple days ago. It really is amazing. I love the fact that the movie does have now much better black levels. I didn't notice any kind of crush or anything in the black levels, especially in the nighttime scenes. The movie does look spectacular. Again, no complaints whatsoever. Uniforms, detail level, color of clothing and stuff seems to be well adjusted on this new transfer here, where you definitely get more earthy colors. You can actually tell the color differential in the dirt when they have the scene where they're discussing, well, this dirt looks like this and this dirt looks like that. You can actually see there's a very vivid difference in the dirt colors. Whereas before it wasn't as discernible. So things like that, little things that are important to the story, I think are very important to this picture. And again, the fact that, you know, that picture quality is back to the level where it should be is venerable. And I'm glad that Criterion went to the lengths that they went to. It's so funny, in the little pamphlet on the inside, they even mention the fact that they got a 35mm copy of the film from both Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. They lent their copies of the film on 35mm negatives, the 35mm. They actually gave that to Criterion so they could get the color correction right on this Blu-ray. So, incredible stuff from Criterion. The other thing I wanted to mention that I'm really happy about with this release is that this Criterion Collection Blu-ray also has the original monaural soundtrack on it in a DTS HD mono track. And I think that's awesome. I really love the fact that it finally has the original uncompressed mono track like it did when the movie was originally released. I did not ever hear that version before getting this Blu-ray. I had always heard the 5.1. The older Blu-ray only had the 5.1. And even though that 5.1 is fine, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, you could tell that they were really stretching, you know, that mono sound to fit the 5.1. It never really felt natural. When I watched it recently, I watched it with the mono track only. Did not watch it in the 5.1, and I have to say, it sounds incredible. And normally, I don't have much to say about a mono track because it's one speaker, but somehow, the music, the dialogue, the sound effects, everything sounds so fantastic. And it's just a mono track, it's just that center speaker. But it sounded great. I never had any issues with it. It really was a classic movie viewing experience. The movie has never looked better, I can say that, and the movie has never sounded better. Also, there are a bunch of special features on here, a bunch of documentaries about the making of the film and about the actual true-life people that the characters in the movie are based on, which I think is awesome. There's even one, a little older program that's called The Return to the Great Escape, which has James Coburn, James Garner, and even David McCallum, who plays a great part in this film, who's now Ducky on NCIS. I think he actually may be the only living cast member from this film, in the main cast, I should say, from the main actors. I think he's the only one left, which is crazy to think that. But again, absolutely awesome release from Criterion. This is hands down, again, like I said, the best the movie has ever looked. This movie right here, this is one that's well worth it. If I could recommend any recent Criterion release, this is it. This is a masterpiece of filmmaking. I really love this movie, and again, it's a classic in my opinion. I love it. And this is one where if you can get this at half price right now, again, I paid about 20 bucks for this, you cannot beat that. This is well worth the $40 price tag. I know I'd never normally say that for a standard Blu-ray, but Criterion really knocked it out of the park with this one. Great job, guys. Great job. As always, thank you again for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Until next time, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more. I wish you guys all the best. And of course, take it easy.